The WBC has ordered Gennady Golovkin to face interim champion Jermall Charlo for the right to become mandatory to face Canelo Alvarez. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, the channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Wow. Now the WBC, they had their annual convention and I love this time. I believe they're in Kiev, Ukraine. They always go to usually nice exotic places and stuff. And the thing I like about the WBC when they do these conventions is we all know the green strap, very respected, a lot of history in boxing. Shout out to Jose Suleiman, rest in peace, and just a lot of lineage in the sport of boxing. But beyond that, they give updates to the fans as to what they're doing. It's like one big, almost a press conference for a sanctioning body. So I just like how structured it is. There's a lot of news. They said Shawn Porter and Keith Thurman is getting ordered. They talked about Chris Eubank Jr. being ranked behind the guy he beat. It's just a lot of stuff. David Benavidez, he tested positive for cocaine. He was the WBC champion. Now he's considered the champion in recess. Kind of like what they did to Keith Thurman, but for a different reason. Keith Thurman's was because inactivity. And then as far as David Benavidez, they didn't choose to strip him, but instead made him a champion in recess. I guess they feel like he's young and he made a mistake. So they're going to try to get him some help. And usually what happens is they have ordered another fight to take place. And it could have been Chris Eubank, but I guess there was some kind of issue with the WBC. And as a result, now two guys are going to fight. Avanin Yildirim, who lost to Chris Eubank Jr., but I guess Chris Eubank Jr. dissed the WBC or something. So now it's gonna be a fight between Yildirim and I think it's Anthony Durrell, and they're gonna fight for the vacated belt, you know. But back to the middleweight division, which is why you guys clicked on the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Gennady Golovkin was ordered to face Jermall Charlo. And basically what the WBC is saying, WBC president, is they have ordered Gennady Golovkin to fight the interim champion, Jermall Charlo. And the winner would receive the right to face Canelo Alvarez. So basically become the mandatory for Canelo. And in my opinion, this is a great fight. And this is it's going to be very interesting. I told you guys, to me, the walls were closing in on Golovkin. And the reason I say walls are closing in is we're going to see who's who. Like, we're going to see if what people's camps and teams said, if they really meant it. Because there's already been some things regarding Golovkin's camp, in my opinion, that has been shown to not be accurate or truthful. Like, hey, we'll fight anyone from 54 to 68, yet you haven't fought anyone from 54 or 68, you know? Things like, hey, all the belts, but then you let the IBF strip you of the belt instead of facing Derevyanchenko to pursue Vanes Martirosyan, who was on a 2-year layoff in a lighter division at 154, moving up at 160 and hadn't fought in 2.5 years, right? And was coming off a loss to Erislandy Lara. So, you know, I think this is great news for the WBC because, well, not for the WBC, for fans. I think what the WBC did is great news for the fans because that's an awesome fight. And they've been kind of telling Charlo he was next up and next in line for the winner of Canelo Triple G. Now it's one more step, but he should be able to get a lot of good money. And I look at it like this. That I don't know how Charlo would feel about it. He probably likes it. I think he respects Golovkin. You know, Golovkin, it's not like he got knocked out or stopped. So definitely if Charlo can beat Golovkin, that would be a certified win. And the reason I like it is because Canelo's considered the cash cow and the A side and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people who hating and saying that, oh, Charlo, he doesn't have the names that we want on the resume. So if he could prove that he can get past a Gennady Golovkin, and especially if he does it more impressively or more decisively than Canelo in his last outing, I thought Canelo won, but you know, there are some people who are saying that Golovkin won. So if Charlo can, since, you know, if that's the case, that's Golovkin's only loss, you know. So if Charlo can go in there and decisively beat Golovkin and or stop him, then the Canelo fight becomes huge, you know, and this will eliminate, new media style, it will eliminate any excuse for Canelo to not fight him. So it's just kind of like one more step, and I think it works out for everyone. It'll be a nice payday for Triple G, nice payday for Charlo, and it'll give Charlo the type of name recognition if he can look impressive against a guy who has a loss now, but it's not like it was a loss where he got stopped or anything like that, right? And it'll give, if Charlo can win it, again, it'll certify Charlo as like, oh, he's really arrived at the middleweight. And it would just, you know, lead up to the Canelo fight. And then Canelo would have to fight Charlo, or he would risk looking really bad just vacating the belt when his mandatory is Charlo, if Charlo's able to beat Triple G. On the flip side, if Gennady Golovkin can beat Charlo, then he's the man. You know, he's right back into a Canelo trilogy. Me, I told you guys, very consistent on the channel, I really don't want to see an immediate Canelo Golovkin rematch. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? So I like this. You know, that's like kind of a buffer. Canelo's probably going to fight in December. I would assume it's against David Lemieux, especially with this news coming out. So if I had to take a shot in the dark, that's who I say he would probably fight. So, you know, I all the way like this. You know, I think it works for everybody. It's a nice little buffer in between the winner of Charlo and Triple G fighting Canelo. So really depends on Triple G's side. To me, I've spoke with Charlo before, and he says he would fight, you know, when Golovkin was undefeated, right? So the only resistance I've heard is more so from the Triple G side. They said, oh, we're not going to be told what to do by any sanctioning bodies. It's about what Golovkin wants to do. They were saying this before the Canelo fight. They were also, because the WBC kind of quote unquote threatened Team Triple G with, hey, if you don't fight Canelo next, then you're going to have to fight the interim champion Triple G if you want to keep the belt. And then Abel Sanchez did an interview with Behind the Gloves where he was kind of saying, hey, we do what we want kind of thing, you know. So very interesting times. We're going to see what Golovkin does, if he retires or if he like moves out of the division to super middleweight. I think that will be a response as to what he feels, because for so long Team Golovkin has stated that they want to fight the big fights, and they've stated that they want smoke, and you know, and no one wanted to fight him back when Sergio Martinez and Miguel Cotto didn't look like they wanted to fight. At a point, Canelo didn't look like he wanted to fight. So now the playground is full. There's a lot of formidable guys. Demetrius Andrade will fight someone. We don't know if it's Billy Joe Saunders because he failed a PEDS test or drug test with VADA, so we have to wait the outcome on that. But you know, Daniel Jacobs is fighting. That's a great rematch. If he can beat Derevyanchenko, that means Derevyanchenko will be his 4th undefeated fighter in a row, and he arguably beat Golovkin. So that means if Jacobs wins, then that's the 4th undefeated fighter in a row. In my opinion, he's beaten, because I thought he beat Golovkin. If Derevyanchenko beats Jacobs, that's a certifiable name. You know, a guy that gave Triple G problems, a guy that beat the undefeated Peter Quillen. And, you know, he's on the map now if he can beat Daniel Jacobs, especially if he did it impressively. So, in my opinion, middleweight is very interesting going forward, looking at Canelo fights in December and beyond in 2019. So I'm happy that the WBC ordered Triple G versus Charlo. And now it's put up or shut up. All the fans that said Triple G was robbed and stuff, I mean, there's no getting the belts back that easy, you know. You can't just necessarily immediately get. So I hope, I mean, I don't see why Canelo wouldn't go about his business and fight David Lemieux or something like that, you know, and you just had 2 tough fights with Triple G. The WBC now ordered this. So, you know, Golovkin did lose on the judges' scorecards. So earn that spot back. All you have to do is go through one last guy. And like I said, a lot of people say Charlo hasn't beaten no one, so it should be a good fight. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Golovkin and Charlo have to say about this. But that's coming from the WBC. Brand new breaking news. Wow. You know, let me know if you think Triple G will take the Charlo challenge. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.